Hey guys, I'm Britt and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, it is another soccer video, so I thought I would sit down and talk about the differences from a junior college versus D1, just because I have experienced both and I feel like people look at a D1 as the highest level, which it kind of technically is, and look at a junior college as the lowest level. When I was first going through my recruitment process, I looked at it that way and I didn't want to go to Juco at all, which if you watch any of my other soccer videos, you know that. But I can say now that it is not like that at all. I love the path that I took and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. I just wanted to share kind of my story and give you guys some advice, I guess you can say. So hopefully it can help you guys make your decision and yeah. But before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, hit that post notification, which is that little bell button after you like the video. But let's get into it. So I'm going to be calling junior college Juco. That's just like the short form for it. So if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, it means junior college. But I think the major difference the major differences, and I guess I can go into detail of them with them, or of the, whatever. The major differences from a junior college and a D1 is just the years. A Juco is 2 years and D1 is 4 years. So that being said, well, if you guys don't know what that means, is for junior college you only have to go to school for 2 years, and for D1 more than likely you have to go to school for 4 years. So if you're me, I went to Juco for 2 years and then I transferred to a D1, which meant I only had 2 more years. So for junior college, I went to Butler Community College, and it is located in 𝙿𝙼𝙼, Kansas, which is 30 minutes away from Wichita, which is like the major city there, I guess you could say. And then I transferred to D1, which was Oral Roberts University, which is a private school, well, private Christian school, and that is located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I feel like that is the two schools are a whole different story in itself. So yeah, I think that's the first major difference, is that Juco, you only have 2 years, so it kind of makes you have to grow up in a way and just be driven on what you want and figure out your next step. It forces you kind of to grow up, you know, you have to go out there and you have to perform just so you can get schools looking at you. You have only limited time and you have to manage that. I feel like when I once got to Division 1, it was completely different. Yes, I got there when I was a junior, so I wasn't there for freshman, sophomore year, but it was more relaxed. Everyone was more focused on schooling more than athletic. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, it was still important to everyone, but at the end of the day, everyone was more concerned about their schoolwork than the actual athletic part of things, which was kind of different, and it was kind of a transition for me. The next probably key thing I would say is SATs. And I know this is going into school, but this is one of the reasons why I went to a Juco in the first place. I can actually talk about it now. Is that when growing up, I mean, I wasn't a straight A student, but I wasn't failing either. It's just I had a lot to worry about, and once I feel I have a lot, then I stress myself out, and once I stress, I can't, I just can't function. So SATs, I would do them all the time, did classes for them, everything. It's just I couldn't get the scores that they wanted. It was to the point where I did it one time, the last time, and I was okay, I'm done. I did it, and the score, I got one less than the score that they wanted, and I was like, I'm totally defeated. I can't do this. Like, had mental breakdown, everything. So doing an SAT for me wasn't in my cards, and my parents knew that. And once Butler came about, I was like, okay, you know what? I am all for it. If I don't have to take an SAT, I'm going to that school. So that is the major reason why I went to a Juco. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, so with a Juco, you don't really necessarily have to take an SAT, but obviously it does help just for your classes in the future. But every other school, like Division 1, you have to take an SAT, and sometimes you have to get the score that they want, or obviously better. But yeah, that is a requirement. So the next thing I would probably say is competition-wise, just athletically. Juco, it wasn't, I mean, at times it was kind of competitive, but for the most part, it was pretty easy. And I don't think it's because it's just Juco. Like, my class was very deep, and there were really good girls that came in with me. Like, our team was just really stacked. Like, he did some great recruitment. I can't even lie, because our team, like, would just, and this is for both years, would just kind of kill teams, I would say. We were just really good. So sometimes the competition wasn't really high, but I know once we went to like nationals and all that stuff, it was very competitive, and it was hard. So I know maybe it's just because the location that we were at, compared to a Division 1 where all the girls kind of had the same skill. I mean, if you were elite, obviously you stood out, but for the most part, like, girls have the same technical abilities. Girls have the same speed. I feel like for competition-wise, obviously Division 1 had more battles and competition and, like, all that stuff, but then Juco is the exact same. It's just, you might have to play a team, and that wasn't as good. But that's just my take on things. Obviously, it could be different for you. Maybe it could be hard throughout. Both, or just, I don't know. Again, touching on the social life of things. He had social lives for both, but for Juco, everyone kind of had the same mindset. They wanted to find their next home. They wanted to be the best. They wanted to find the best school. So everyone kind of had the same mindset, or at least like my group of people that I hung out with had that mindset. And then for Division 1, it was more like there was a more social life there, just because you didn't really have to worry about anything. You really didn't have to worry about finding your next school. Like, that's your set school. All you really have to do is worry about schoolwork and what life would be like after, like what kind of job you would want, like all that stuff. So you definitely had more room for a social life in Division 1, but yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy both, but I enjoyed, I think, Juco just a little more for my social life, just because it was so driven and it kept me focused, when sometimes in Division 1 I would kind of get lost in that. I'd be like, oh, I don't really need soccer. I have my friends, I have my social life, like, it's good, like, you know. Kind of got distracted a bit, but obviously it worked out in the long run. The last thing I would probably say was like a key major difference, the school size, I would say. Again, I talked about my Juco being kind of in the middle of nowhere, which it was a decent sized school when Division 1 was obviously bigger. Sometimes teachers wouldn't even know you existed, even though you're in the class. So it was kind of, I'm not even gonna lie, I had more chances to not go to class in a Division 1 than a Juco. Juco was more smaller class, teachers were more hands-on. I know I like that sort of thing just because it makes me feel like I'm important in a way, because the teachers, like, you know, it's more personal, it's more like hands-on type thing. So, I mean, I definitely like both schools. It was different, but Division 1, I could slack off more. I'm just putting out there, I could slack off more, and I did slack off more. So that is something to hold yourself accountable for, I know, but it did happen. There's definitely a lot of fun memories from both, and if you want to hear about it, like, kind of have some crazy stories, but yeah, that is just some of my advice or my story on, or how I felt about being at both schools, kind of the differences about both schools, kind of the fun times, the hard times. Actually, I didn't share any of that, but I can in future videos. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I mean, it's pretty short, straight to the point, just some of the things that are really major. It's not life-changing major, but it's definitely things to consider. But yeah, I think that is all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any other videos that you would like to see, then definitely hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll get that out for you guys. But I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!